This month's podcast is sponsored by In-House Media. In-House Media is offering their Black Friday deals through the end of January. They have 2-page websites for $600 and radio ads for $100. This lasts through, like I said, all the end of January. But that's not all. When you go to www.inhousemediaofficial.com and use the promo code BurtonBeat at checkout, you will get 10% off each item. If you're trying to get your business off the ground, you definitely need to go check them out.
Welcome to the Burton Beat. Thank you so much, everybody. We have Kreek here with us. You cleaning your shirt off? Okay, cool. So we are sponsored by In-House Media and Dope Water, which we have right there in front of us. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's that little bottle right there. Thank you.
All by itself.
And I believe we can tell Vanna White that if she needs a day off, we got you on the standby.
You've never seen me in a dress.
Oh.
Anybody else?
All right. I am Jeff. This is Mark.
Yeah. Burton Raccoon.
Burton Raccoon. Yeah. He's most famously known by the Burton Raccoon. And can you guys introduce yourselves?
I liked his name so much, I thought I'd use it too, so I'm Mark also.
I'm Kaya.
I'm Logan. The band calls me Barty and my friends, but my real name's Logan.
I'm Brett Howard. I'm Tom, aka Noodles.
Noodles. Is there a meaning behind that?
Yes.
You've been talking to the mic.
Yeah, you guys got 2 mics over
We're
there.
not used to this. I throw pasta at people.
You throw it.
No, I have a way of getting distracted and start playing my bass at loud volumes while the band is trying to do something else, and I'm just not paying attention, so I just constantly noodling, so he calls me Noodles.
Noodling.
I get yelled at a lot at rehearsal. Yeah.
It's musician terms, noodling.
Noodling. Oh.
Noodling, yeah. So Noodles, I guess.
That's really cool. All right. So Kreek. Okay, so where you guys from?
You go talking to the mic.
We practice out of the Swartz Creek area. Everybody here is from all over Tennessee County, spread all over. Yeah, I guess technically I live in Shiawassee County, but still just like about 15 minutes away from Brett's.
We'll try not to hold that against you.
Yeah. We're all within 30 minutes of the practice place.
Okay.
Kind of our hell house.
Where do you guys practice?
We got an outbuilding, kind of like Leonard Skinner did, the hell house, and whether it's hot or cold, we jam, and all the time, at least 3 days a week. And just put it to it.
I've been there.
Yeah, Mark's been there a couple times at least.
Yeah, we jammed a few times.
I've never seen you over there.
That was like what, 2017?
Yeah, so you need to come over and
Yeah, no, I keep getting an invite, but schedules and all that, so
It's
we're very
priorities.
busy.
It's not scheduled, it's priorities, Mark.
Yeah, it's priorities. So how did y'all come together?
Basically, I met Barty. What year was it? 16? 2016. And he was just 17 years old at high school, I think. Anyway, I wrote a bunch of songs throughout 20 years' time. And got with him, found out he played guitar, so we met. We just started jamming together. I said, man, so let's try and record some of these, see what it sounds like. So we recorded and hired more or less studio musicians to help us out with the rest of the instruments. Liked what happened, and then said, let's put a band together. So started meeting different people. I met Mark while I was working my day job. He's an inspector for the county.
Ooh.
And he was over talking about recording studios and this and that. I said, man, you're in music. So we got talking, and I got on my knees and begged him to come over. And he did some drumming for us and been in and out. He's done a lot, about most of our studio work. I'd say half of it.
Okay.
Yep. And so Tom, I had to beg him, steal him from another band for about 2 years. And he finally come over and tried us out and stuck around. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow I'll be playing with it.
And
Yeah, what band is that?
No, it's almost like an open mic situation. It's this group of goofballs that gets together on a Friday night just for fun. They call themselves the Country Blumpkins. And it's on like a Friday evening, just a bunch of dudes being dudes. So Brett, I think, heard about the place, whatever, and you came up there, and I think you saw me play bass a couple times, and you were like, "Oh man,
free
come on."
jam.
Yeah,
Whoever
it
can come jam.
really is. It's a bunch of really nice guys just having a good time on a Friday night.
15, 20 different musicians from everywhere in all different bands.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even countless musicians, but
It's almost a secret. They just go in this little shack in the middle of the woods,
Kinda.
plug in a space heater and all
he's
your
not
amps,
wrong. Yeah.
jam from like
The power will be out.
9
the
till
generator.
4 in the morning.
It's the
And-
Blum has a way of sort of surviving. We call it the Blum.
yeah. So just a big.
But that's right.
mystery.
That's
Is there a banjo involved?
Every instrument you can think of.
yeah, still. Well, yeah. I mean,
bongos,
there's a bunch of different
stuff I never
musicians.
heard of.
You might not see guys for like a couple of years, and then all of a sudden out of the blue they'll show up. Whatever. It's it's a pretty fun time. But yeah, I just happened to meet him on the instance over there, and we decided that.
So he was noodling.
I was noodling out there.
And I
Yeah.
said, man, that guy can really noodle. I said, dude, I gotta get a hold of this fella. So I've been working on him for about 2 years.
Well, we've been jamming.
And he's like,
for
nah,
years
this, nah, I don't know if band things what I want to get into, blah, blah, blah. And I finally talked him into coming over. I didn't really steal it from anybody.
now.
And then we stuck around, and that was that. So we all kind of had our core group, foundation-wise, and then Kaya came in this past summer, and she was actually singing backup vocals for us. And I was singing, I had another fella singing, and she came up to me, she's like, I'd like to sing lead. And I was like, well, if you want to do it, give her a crack. She got on stage and she owned it. And I said, looks like you're our new lead singer. And
Oh, we already know that because
Yeah.
from our hometown days.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you see her on the karaoke circuit. She's
Oh,
out
yeah,
there
we,
killing it.
Right.
Yeah.
We do the karaoke circuit, I guess.
Yep.
If that's what you want to call it.
All the time.
So that's actually Kaya. You're actually our first female that we've had on
Yep.
the podcast.
No way.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. So this is our 5th episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 5th episode. So it's a
Cool.
big sausage fest every week, so every month. So yeah, no, it's I'm glad you're
That's the
on
last
to
meeting.
bring us some diversity. Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you're outnumbered right
Wouldn't
now.
expect
But,
anything
yeah.
No, not gonna do it.
Females in the audience.
Yes, but not as part of a band, really.
That's true.
That's
So-
not exactly true.
Well, here I am.
There will be more coming, but I'm just saying you're the first one.
Right.
Great. I'm proud to be the first one.
That's good.
Thanks.
So, all right. So you're lead singer, and you're the drums. And what's our specific instruments over here?
I play guitar. Brett and I both do rhythm and lead. It really just depends on the song, especially our originals, because it seems like the ones Brett writes the rhythms to, I end up coming up with a lead to, and a lot of times the ones I write songs to, he'll come up with the lead for. So it just kind of depends on who comes up with the song and has the ideas first and what works with the song. And then also the covers we do, we just kind of Brett plays a Strat and I got the Gibson tone, so it's just kind of whatever fits the song more is who takes the lead usually. So
You'll learn more about tones as you go on into the guitar that you just got, which is awesome.
Tone chasers.
Oh, you just got a guitar.
So yeah, no, it was alright. He's giving me shit because I am a musician, but I mostly sing. So I've been singing quite some time. But I just got a guitar for Christmas. My beautiful girlfriend Tiffany gave me a guitar for Christmas, and I've been wanting to. I know how to play a little bit. I know some chords, but I don't know how to. I can't get down to playing and singing at the same time. It's using your whole brain for doing that, and I have ADHD, and it's either one or the other sometimes. So, but yeah, but I am trying to. Because prior to Christmas, I had got a guitar case, and without the guitar. So it was. I had a plan. I had a plan that I was going to assemble what I wanted for my future.
It's like when guys get the Harley T-shirt and then they gotta get the Harley.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, Nice.
Like,
Yeah, I also struggled with, I'm not much of a singer, but like sometimes around the campfire acoustic guitar I'll sing, but I had the same problem like with the timing at first, but what helped me is just like pick one song and just play the rhythm over and over until it's like second nature to you, and like then try to sing over it, because you won't have to think about the guitar as much. And once you do that with a few songs, then it like gets easier after that, I feel like.
It's like second nature.
Yeah.
Alright, so
But tell the story why and the reason why you actually wanted a guitar, which, you know, rest in peace.
So I had a friend who played guitar. He was really good. A guy from high school, and he ended up getting cancer. And he was in remission. He was doing good, but it came back full force, and it took him. And I'm like, all right. So I don't want like his memory to fade. So I was like, okay. I feel like I am lucky enough to survive what I've went through. Maybe I can, in ode to him, I can start playing guitar. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a tribute.
yeah, tribute. Yeah.
Yeah, just stick with it. Whether you're a fast learner or a slow learner, as long as you keep learning, it's
No,
the
I
best
am
thing.
a slow learner, so it will take me some time. But yeah. So all right. So what? Okay. So
Guitar.
Guitar,
I think
guitar.
is where we were at.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I play bass, but I also do keyboards, at least in the studio. I can't obviously do both at the same time when we're playing live, but I'll play
It
some
doesn't
keyboard in
stop
the
them from
studio.
trying, though.
It doesn't
Yeah,
stop from
I
trying.
have tried before, and it's, like you say, it's hard to sing and play guitar at the same time. Try to like play keyboard and bass.
What about
I'm
getting
not Geddy Lee.
a key, what about those with a keytar?
Those look awesome. I'd love to try one.
Yeah.
I haven't tried one yet. Yeah.
Because I mean, who's that one guy? He's got I've seen him. Well, because there's people out there who are just freaking amazing, who have like it looks like 3 guitars all together and they're playing.
That's Steve I.
Well, yeah. Well, I saw somebody on some video on Facebook the other day where a guy had like a bass and a keyboard that was like one instrument, and he could just hit the strings on the bass and play a bass line, and then have like a melody keyboard line with his right hand, which is kind of, if you look at it, when you're playing a keyboard, you are playing the bass line with your left hand and the melody line with your right hand, but he was doing it, I guess, just in a different method, but it was like strings and then keys on the same instrument. It was bizarre, but he sounded great doing it. I mean, it was articulate, and just strange, I guess.
Because I've seen where they have where they've got like a guitar for each hand.
Those
Yeah.
are greedy musicians who try to get
Well,
paid
they're-
3 and 4
yeah,
times for
yeah.
one
Steve
performance.
I
Right, there you go.
Steve I done that.
They want to be
I've
their
seen
own
that,
band, so they don't want to have to split the check.
Yeah. Steve I did that, but also there's another guitarist, Michelangelo Baio,
That's right.
and he's crazy. He's like that too.
Yeah,
Savants.
Savants. Yeah.
that's not us.
Yeah. For the rest of us, we have to work for it. Yeah.
Right, we gotta practice.
We got 3 chords in
We
the
gotta
shirt.
practice, yeah.
All right. So
Somebody said that around here they knew 4 chords. What's the 4th one? What's the 4th one? I ain't never seen that one yet.
So Fire Creek. I want to know where did that name come from? What is it? I need to know where the origin of Fire Creek came
Yeah,
from.
so it was kind of like, hurry up and find a name, right? Me and Marty did a CD and put it out there. We needed a title for it to get it pushed through, for media and all that. We had to have something for it. And I'm thinking, well, it's recorded in Swartz Creek. Let's call it Swartz Creek. They're like, no, that's not. I don't got that much pizzazz to it. I'm like, all right. So I was thinking, I come up with a bunch of names, and Fire Creek is the one that just happened to stick. Asked a couple friends of mine, like, yeah, that's cool. I was all right, we'll go with that. So I called the place that was going to do our CDs, call it Fire Creek, and spell it with a K because there's a copyright on it. There's already a movie called Fire Creek. So you got to do a K instead of a C. That's the only way we won't get in trouble. Because believe it or not, every single name you can think of for a band, it's been used.
Yeah. Just about, yeah.
That's the way it was when we tried to find our podcast. Like, what are we gonna
Carpet.
name this
I bet
thing?
there's a band named Carpet. You can't come up with anything.
I thought he had named it because where we always went up, we would go up north, and ride dirt bikes and go hunting and stuff. And where his camper was at was like this creek, and he always had a fire there. And I was like, "Is that why you named it Fire Creek?" And they told me, and I was like, "Oh, that's what I thought."
I think that is kind of where the
yeah.
fire part came from. That I think.
Yeah, I think he's like, well, I did kind of think about that too, though, afterwards or during thinking about it. But yeah, it's kind of funny because it kind of tied into what we do outside of the band. And we're
Out of about
big in
15
outdoors.
names, that was the one that wasn't used if you changed the letter.
Yeah. I also like the backwards K. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think I had that CD floating around somewhere.
You got one.
Yeah.
So I guess that leads into my, so you guys are recording.
Yes.
You are recording.
Right now we're at Fire Hyena Studios in Saginaw, Michigan with Chris Lewis engineering. Man, he is good.
Fire Hyena.
Fire Hyena Studios. Chris Lewis. He's the
That's
engineer there.
I'll tag them in the post and stuff.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
He's pulled
really
the best
good.
out of us. I mean, this next one we got coming out is gonna put these others in big exchange. We already got 2 out.
Oh, is you have 2 CDs out
Yeah.
already?
Well, one's a CD, the first one, then we didn't do CDs for the second one because nobody has CD players really anymore, so it's just on social media. It's just
Oh.
called Fire Creek self-titled.
I thought you were gonna say, oh yeah, we put it out on cassette.
Yes!
Finally!
I wish, man.
The second one has 20 tracks on it.
20 tracks.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a.
Mark's on a lot of those songs.
Yeah, I think I was on just a few of that one.
Yep.
Just a handful of those
Yeah.
songs.
A lot of that was done in the studio. But yeah, this next one is a 10 song, and I think y'all like it.
Okay. What is what's your guys' biggest song?
Right now, Hold You Again.
Hold You
It's
Again.
been played around the world, different places. Not a whole bunch, but it's hit and miss here and there over the years. It's been out 2 years now, I think. Hold You Again. We'll play it tonight for you.
All right, right on. I want to hear that.
I think it's been closer to 3 years it's been out.
2020. I looked at the date the other day.
2020, yeah. Oh, 2020.
I keep it
Yeah,
playing on my
okay, yeah.
phone so we can get some.
I was actually sitting around a campfire
Yeah.
about a year ago, and there's a bunch of young people there, and they got a Bluetooth on the tailgate, and that song was playing. I'm going, oh, they're doing this and this, right? Who played that song? Oh, gal about 20 years old. I did. I said, do you know anything about that song? She goes, no, I just got it on my playlist. I like it. I goes, well, that's a band called Fire Creek. Oh, okay. I said, well, I wrote it. She goes, no, you didn't. I said, yes, I did. And had people there that knew me. They said, yeah, it's actually his band's song and stuff. She's like, really? I said, that made me feel good.
Right.
I was like, younger people are listening to it. Right on.
That's
So,
pretty impressive.
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool to get out the, get the music out for the
Right.
younger crowd.
It's just hard to get on mainstream radio.
Because you got
So,
TikTok now, and you got all these social medias that people pick up all this music and stuff, and they're like, okay, well, I like this one, we'll just say that or whatever, But that's kind of cool though that she did that.
I had some buddies of mine, they were down in Myrtle Beach, and they said they heard it on one of their radio stations a couple of years ago, and I was like, really? I said, I didn't know it could get on the regular mainstream, but somehow it did somewhere. Kind of hit and miss, but.
That's cool.
I feel like I had part of that.
Yeah, you did, you played it.
Yeah, we played it.
Yep.
So what would you say that your sound? What kind of band do you think you got? Are you country? Because you sound like you have some twang in your voice. So
We got the one full album of 20 songs is kind of more of like a folk rock, John Mellencamp style, I guess you'd call it.
Okay.
Actually, Bernard Terry, he passed away. We recorded with him. Hold You Again was done in his studio.
Okay.
And he sat me down because I wanted to do a full-on rock album, He goes, man, I want you to gear something towards female listeners. Well, that's what sells. Let's be, let's think about this the right way and think about how you're gonna write this album out. He goes, bring me a bunch of songs that's geared towards a female listener, and in the next album we'll do a rock album. So I just calmed it right down. I was like, let's do some John Mellencamp kind of rock, kind of cool it down a little bit. So that was that album's idea. So that's a little on the softer side. But our first one we did was, straight up classic rock. So we got like a blues rock, classic rock, southern rock, all intertwined into one. It's all of our influences, every one of us.
Right.
And we all put our little, 2 cents in. Mark, and he comes up with all his own drum beats. And everybody does their own idea, really.
Yeah, that's what's cool about the band is like we're all into the same music, but everyone's core inspiration is something a little different, I think. So when you have different people bringing main ideas to the table, not every song sounds the same, and it gives us more of a variety, I think, in our originals. So it's pretty cool.
And now we're being real grassroots about it. So we got our practice room, and we can sit there and, new song will work out, we can play as long as it takes, and everybody can start nitpicking it and making each little part even better and better. So now we go into the recording studio, guys like Chris, they expect excellence. They want your timing down, they don't want to screw around with you, you better have it together. And so he's pleased with us, you know. He says, you guys been rehearsing, you're not coming unprepared, thank you for that. You're welcome.
That's the thing, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Well, it's not good for anybody to waste time.
Right,
You know,
It's
in
expensive.
that situation. It's
Yeah.
expensive for him too, really, in a way, you know, he doesn't wanna be, even though, whatever. He's-
Mark, he'll get in the studio there, I mean, 1 or 2 times per track, he'll have it nailed. And Chris's eyes, he's like, wow, man, where'd you get this guy?
Good job, Mark.
Yeah.
There was a couple of keyboard lines, that took- there's a couple of keyboard lines.
Me and Marty will be in every 3 days to do 1 note.
One note.
I'm usually pretty good. Sometimes though, I don't have a made-up idea for the solos, so I'll improvise in the studio. Like I like to do that sometimes. So sometimes that takes a couple more takes, but I'll do like 5 of them and then listen back, and I'll like certain parts of them, and then sometimes try and play it and put them all together and play that. So that then I maybe am taking a few more takes. But if it's like a rhythm or something practiced, I usually have it down within 2 takes usually.
Yeah, I feel like it's a pain in the ass. You sit there, you know, playing, and then all of a sudden you come up with a solo, like, oh, that sounds good, but it never sounds the same.
What's really bad is when you sit there and work on it for 3 days, you go in there and you turn around and go, you can do better than that, and you're going, uh-oh. I've been playing on this for 3 days, and I gotta come up with something in 30 seconds.
Better than that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, we touched on it, you guys touched on it a little bit. What are your guys' individual? I want to hear from the people who haven't been talking that much.
You gotta have you got 30 minutes?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I want to know what your influences are.
Okay, so I was gonna bring that up. Like, I'm not like I listen to all genres of music, but I'm definitely like a R&B like kind of girl, and that's like not this band at all. But getting to sing like stuff that I grew up listening to and like know a lot of is like really fun. But I'm definitely an R&B girl at heart. And then I know like Tom, like he listens to like funky stuff.
Yeah, well,
Like-
being a bassist, to kind of, I don't know. I grew up listening to my dad. It really got me on Motown. I listened to a lot of Motown, so my feel is kind of more like that. And I love funk music, and yeah, but classic rock is fun. You know what I mean? Like you said, I listen to a lot of different genres of music, but I mean, look, I'm not really doing it now, but I played saxophone all the way through school. I took piano lessons as a kid. Yeah, so there's a lot of different. I don't know. I just love music. There's a lot of different things I like, I guess.
Yeah.
So you said you played saxophone. Though.
Yeah, like currently I don't really do it, but I played saxophone all the way through, and I played bari sax when I was in the high school band.
So
Nice.
That was fun.
have you seen Lost Boys?
No.
Oh, okay. Has anyone here seen Lost Boys? Okay. All right. So there's this scene. This dude. He's shirtless and he's just jamming out on the saxophone and stuff like that. We need to have a music video with him just shirtless
Probably
playing the
not.
sax.
No,
I
no,
think
no.
I think.
I actually like the saxophone. Like, you know, I didn't appreciate the opportunity I had in public school to play the saxophone because bari saxes are thousands of dollars. I'm never going to be able to afford that on my own. The only way I was ever able to play that was because it was a school-owned instrument. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah, I kind of regret not taking more advantage of that, really, because I can't get my hands on stuff like that now, really, you know.
That's sad too. That I don't know. Like, I wish that schools would put more thought into the arts as they would in sports.
Yeah, you know, fair enough. Or well, yeah, sports. Yeah, you're fair. I would compare it to sports, you know. But like, I don't know. That's a different discussion, I guess. There.
Yeah, but
because, you know, you have a bunch of kids that are going to go to auto shop, and there's a bunch of kids that'll make a living as a mechanic, but not as many kids are going to make a living as like a musician or something like
Right.
that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, the arts should get as much attention as sports do, for sure.
Yeah, because I mean it's also therapeutic too, and it grows you creative.
Well, that's
Creativity.
I mean,
Yes.
the biggest part of playing with a band, I think, is like listening to the musicians around you, and that's a skill that is kind of learned. And
Team
for me,
building.
yeah, and I went through that from 5th grade all the way through 12th grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a long time. And like in high school, in the band, I think in Owasso was where I was at. It was like 112 members or something like that. So that's a lot of people that you're getting along with and playing music with at the same
Right.
time. It's kind of amazing that a band instructor was able to get that many teenagers to be on the same page with anything, really.
Yeah, plus being in a band's like a family, like all egos aside, you guys are just a big family, and
Working for a common.
nobody's
Not even-
better than
common
anybody,
Not even like a band, like
I've dealt with people like that, and it really hurts me really bad.
Yeah. And the cool thing about Tom here, he's actually, he can read music, or he knows music. He knows notes. So whenever we put something, it helps out a lot in the studio. So I'm like, what do you call this when you have this little pause? What do you call it? Quarter pause? There's a name for it. What do you call this note? What do you call this music theory? Because the engineers want to know what the heck I'm trying to do, and he's like, I don't get you, Brett. This makes no sense. What do you call that, Tom? Well, that's called a Beethoven. He goes, well, you're doing classical.
I don't know about Beethoven.
I'm just making, I'm like, yeah, I guess that's what it is. And he goes,
But when he's in
okay.
the studio, he needs to know what the key is on everything, and he needs to know what the count is and stuff like that. And sometimes when you have like an artist, it's difficult to like tell someone who's very technical thinking,
Right.
you know, what their
That helps.
what their art is.
That helps a lot, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you saved us a bunch.
I can't read music.
He's about ready to throw a
Can you
couple
read
songs
music?
away. He's like, this makes no sense.
I do remember.
Tom will make it make sense.
Well, I do remember one time showing up at the studio and they were
I tried
like,
to start
yeah,
music
they were
there.
like, you guys just couldn't
There's
do
no
it.
way. I tried.
I know rhythms. I can read rhythms. I can't read, like, I don't know the notes.
I don't know the notes that well, but like I know like what each symbol means.
Yeah,
like
that's-
TTs and my tatas. I like those.
You would have to give me a part like a day ahead of time for me to learn something at this point in time, but like sight reading is a real skill.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot of people really have it anymore.
TTs and tatas are like kindergarten. Like,
Hey, listen. I don't care what age you are. Any guy will tell you, TTs and tatas, that's what you live by. That is what you live by. Music and just in life. TTs and tatas.
Well, we did have
Someone needs to have a band name that.
for real.
Man, I've had a lot.
That's
Well, when
something we're all having
when I
fun.
first met Brett, I think I listened to like a lot more heavier stuff, maybe like Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold. Like I was probably 17 when I met Brett, 16 or 17.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, so a lot of heavier stuff. But it's funny because the stuff I listened to wasn't what I was playing. I always liked playing more of the bluesy stuff. It felt like natural to me. And the classic rock and things like that, that's what really felt natural and like the most fun for me to play. And that's kind of what Brett was coming up with when I met up with him and he showed me these songs he had and the rhythms he had. So it already like gelled with my playing style, and I used to be terrible at playing solos, like back when I was first starting guitar. So I got one of those looper pedals, and I would just practice, and I always doing the like blues loops were like the easiest for me to solo over. So I just sit there for 2 hours sometimes in my living room and play along with the loop and just improvise and see what I could come up with. So like when I met Brett, it's like I was already practicing for that, I guess. But I know it. And then as I kind of got older and was playing, like Leonard Skinner is one of my all-time favorite bands now, and just to watch documentaries on, to listen to, and how good and tight those guys were for such a big band, I think that's really impressive. So
3 guitars.
yeah,
Come on.
and I mean
That's the
also
most iconic.
like a lot of
I
other
mean, there's a few bands that have 3 guitars, but they were amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
How about I had you? Well, to that point,
They-
me and him discussed this, like, well, we're gonna have 2 guitars in a band, which is not too bad, but 3, like you're saying, man, you gotta learn volume control and learn not to step on each other, know when your time to shine, not blend in. So we had, a year of just grueling on purpose, trying to throw each other off and do different little volume tricks and stuff, and we got it pretty well dialed in. 'Cause that's really important. If you're playing live, I mean, you see one guitar is always louder than the other, doesn't know volume, how it is. And the sound man doesn't help sometimes. I think you pay the sound man off, stuff like that. But yeah, and my influences absolutely start with Elvis Presley,
Hell yeah.
and then AC/DC, and right on up the list. Now it's kind of like dialing back more the traditional side and going kind of like blues, and Eric Clapton's really hit me, and Toy Caldwell from the Marshall Tucker Band. I love him. Kind of getting really going back to my blues roots as far as rock blues type thing.
Yeah.
Allman
Yeah.
Brothers, things like that.
And back to what Barty was saying, like how he like listens to something but like plays something different. I'm definitely like that too. Like I listen to R&B, but it's like I'm definitely a classic rock singer. Like I went into the Swartz Creek Idol 7th grade. I was singing My Girl. I was singing, like, just like stuff like that. What's up? I'm Still Standing, like, songs like that. So it was like all the old stuff.
Well, we noticed, like, from the karaoke, like, with your music, what you sing.
It's all the old stuff.
It's like, oh, she's kind of got an old soul.
Yeah, I
It's-
love
it's pretty
singing
cool.
old stuff.
I was surprised when you wanted to sing Black Velvet.
Dude,
Like,
that
I thought-
song's so hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was your idea, wasn't it?
It was Brett's idea.
Oh, I thought it was your idea.
But then I was like, I know, but
I knew she could do it.
I was like, Brett, there's no way that I'm gonna sing this song. Like, I cannot do this. So I went home and I'm like singing in front of my mom, and I'm like, Mom, there's no way.
So here's the
And I
thing
just
too.
start yelling it out.
And this
I'm
one
like,
made it even harder on her. That song's recorded a half step down, so in 440 makes it even more difficult.
Yeah.
And
It's another half
Chris
step.
Lewis, he goes, "You trying to kill her?" I said, "No, not on purpose, man."
Yeah. So like I'm like in my house like trying to sing it, and I'm like, this is absolutely crazy. So I get into practice and we start singing it, and it's higher, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing it. So I can do it, but
But
hey,
you can do it.
I can do it. After learning that song and knowing I could do that song, I was like, okay, if I can do that, I can probably do anything.
So she did that, and then all these doors started opening for me. I'm like, "Oh, I see Nancy Wilson. Okay, here we go." Start writing this stuff down, and she's over there just like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, me too. Pat Benatar, like, I was like, there's no way I can do anything. And then I sang Black Velvet, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try all of these. Yeah. I've really discovered my voice since I've been, like, even in the, past half a year, 6 months, my voice, I feel like, has, like,
Well, you're
gone
learning how to
crazy.
use it. You know.
Yeah, honestly, like, I thought I was like, I'm a low singer, I sing guy songs, like, that's all I'm going to stick to, and, like, no, but
It's like
now I
working
sing,
out.
like, a lot
Like,
of stuff.
you know, you can't push yourself unless you actually, you know, put on more weight. So, you know, and see what you can't get better unless you, you know, try to, you know, take on more.
Yeah, which
Chris,
the band
Chris
definitely
got a
helped.
hold of her and it was on.
Oh
He
my
made her sing one sentence for 3 hours.
No, yeah, literally, I'll be, dude, get it perfect, sound like this, yes.
Yeah.
But it's actually really a lot of fun in the studio. That's the first time I've been in the studios with the band,
Yeah.
and it's absolutely like one of the most fun things I've ever done. Even though we're just sitting in a room for forever, it's so fun. I think.
That's cool. You guys gonna like, I mean, branch out more?
Wait, no, I want to know what, before we get to that.
We're not gonna let this guy slide by. Without, yeah, we're not gonna let Mark, because I want to know what Mark's inspirations and
Set the timer.
yeah.
Well, first of all, my father was a professional musician, world class, not on the drums. But I always had music around the house, and he played all kinds of things. They were doing, he was actually playing as a kid in theaters and stuff like that. And at that time, it's all, you know, Frank Sinatra or big band stuff, and so I had that influence. I could, you know, I heard that, but I never picked up his instrument. I just somehow gravitated towards drums. But probably the first really big influence on me was the Beatles, and still is. And from there, Motown. I love classical music, especially strings. Can't get enough of it. I like Fire Creek a lot.
Oh, good. I'm glad. You guys like.
That's one thing that impressed me about Brett when we first met on the construction site.
Yeah.
He was in need of a drummer at the time. I guess we just talked shop for a while. But then a short time later, I get a phone call, man. I got to be in the studio in 2 days, and my drummer quit on me. Can you help me? I was no. Not 2 days. You know? It's all original stuff. But you know, we've had a relationship ever since, and it seems like everything he does, he's getting better and better at his songwriting all the time.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff that is especially some of his ballads, just they've got something to them.
Right.
they're all pretty playable, you know. And the people putting in on it, I think are doing a good job.
Well, that's
so.
good. That's a good thing you guys are like each other. That's really
It
good.
works out, 'cause I've been in bands where we didn't like each other much.
Yeah.
And that's pretty difficult.
Well, it's a bonus, though.
I did one of those for 30 years.
Yeah.
So,
Got one of the members sitting here, Randy.
yeah.
Randy's
My buddy Randy there.
Is that why he's been giving you evil eyes all night?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He and I were in
plug for
a
Randy.
really good rock band in the 70s. Really good. Pulled
What
off
is
some-
that?
Wait, I want to know more
Wow,
about
so-
Randy. What'd you play?
Guitar, play keys, play bass.
What
That's
band?
awesome.
What's the band?
The band's called Anthem.
Anthem.
Cool.
And later we resurrected one called Beast. And it scared off a lot of potential people that wanted to get into the band until they heard us live, and then they said they didn't want to be in our band because they couldn't do that. Our bass player is somewhere in Nashville now. Not sure where he is out there. Anyway, he and I are still tight, and we're going over stuff that we're working on in the studio tomorrow.
I'm curious about your dad. Like, what you said he's a professional musician. What all does that entail, like, for him?
He and his two brothers were the only harmonica trio of brothers in the world. And my dad's played with the Harmonicats. They did all kinds of things. They played all over. As they were, when they were kids, they used to do some of these vaudeville shows. Like the Three Stooges were doing a stage act at the time, but they did shows with the Stooges.
The three. Wow.
Yeah.
Acts with the Three Stooges.
Yeah, because vaudeville then, it was a theater and all kinds of acts. They have somebody there, you know, spinning dishes on a stick, and
Yeah.
dogs jumping through hoops, and if you stayed late enough, they'd have a stripper on or something.
All right.
You never knew what was going to be in there.
Okay.
They just get up as a three-piece and play harmonica as kids, and eventually got to be really good. My dad and one of my uncles were both rated in the world as some of the best on their instruments. So,
What did they have a name? What was their
our last name is Sternad.
Sternad?
Sternad, which throws everybody. They go, you misspelled that. I know. So they went with Strand Brothers.
Oh, okay.
And they pretty much work with everybody. They've done things with like Jimmy Durante, Gordon McCrae.
Wow.
Didn't you
I
say,
think they were actually booked on Ed Sullivan.
Ed Sullivan. Wow.
Mark, didn't you say he was personal friends with Willie Nelson's harmonica player? I can't remember his name.
Mickey Raphael.
Yeah, they were hanging out all the time.
Yeah, they all know each other. It's a small club.
Mhm.
You know, but yeah, they actually went to Willie's get together there and jammed with him. And my dad and my uncles, not knowing much about Willie,
Yeah. Oh.
get on the bus and yeah, they knew Mickey, they didn't know Willie. They actually went to the thing dressed in tuxedos, and I said, "Ain't nobody there gonna be in a tuxedo. They're all gonna be high and ripped off jeans, you know,
Right.
slamming down some beers, you know." And they didn't do that. And I said, but they were a big hit. Everybody liked them.
Right.
So, but yeah, I just like any kind of music. So
Are they still? Are any of them still around? Like your
No.
dad or no?
No, they're all
Oh,
gone.
okay. My condolences, but that's really awesome though. You come from good stock. That's good.
And music stuff.
Good stock. So now my question was, are you guys gonna like branch out more, like open up, like maybe get on festivals or something?
We're open for everything right now. We're, taking whatever anybody needs help with, open, ready for hire.
Oh, you hear that, y'all?
So
Call
you get-
Fire Creek.
Bring it way out there.
where do you guys usually do your gigs at? Like where? Like what?
We've been around Genesee County, right now, testing the waters and everything. We're doing everything from open mic nights. We're at Cascades. Was that last Saturday? That was a kind of spur of the moment. Got a call. What was it? 2:30, 3 o'clock. Hey, band
Day
canceled.
of.
Can you get your band here in the next 2 hours to play for 4 hours? Okay.
No.
So I called everybody. We went up there and we nailed it. Got lucky.
Yeah, that one
And they want us back, so we did a good job. I guess we passed the audition.
What was the name of it?
Cascade Lounge. up in
Cascade Lounge?
Look here.
Kids out in Metamora.
Okay.
More.
Not here.
Or more is over.
Yep. So, yeah, I was talking to some places up in Grayling. They're gonna try and get us on this summer.
Okay. You guys, other than those, do you guys have any like recurring places that you go to?
Not right now.
No. Okay. Right on. Sorry, I'm looking at my cheat sheet here. So what are your plans right now for the band? Like, what are your plans?
Well, start playing out.
Yeah.
You know, getting out and just
I think
shaking things up, shaking this town as much as we can, and getting involved and play it where we can.
yeah, we were in and out, like they were in and out singers, and so it was like it took me a little bit to like learn the set list and everything, but like we're definitely ready to like start playing and playing and playing and playing and playing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So
I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
Well,
Just-
the album is, I mean, we're still finishing up the album, we got a little bit of work
Yeah.
for that in the studio, so.
It'll be out in the next month or two, probably.
you
So
guys.
yeah, that's awesome.
So your next album's gonna be coming out in the next
Month
month
or
or
two.
so.
Is it even called an album anymore? It's all social media,
I
digital.
mean, yeah. But
Yeah, well,
I don't even know what to call it.
Is it gonna be on all platforms?
LP? I don't know. 10 songs, I put
Still an
that.
album.
10 singles? I don't know. Yeah.
Is it gonna be on all platforms? Or?
Yes, oh yeah. Make sure we promote the heck out of it. We'll play a couple songs off
We'll
the
definitely help you with that.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll help you promote it.
Yeah, we'll play some for you tonight.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Off the range.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I wear a little bit of jewelry, so
A little?
a little bit. So I want to open it up to the crowd here. What does anybody have any questions for the band?
Yeah.
Any questions?
No.
None?
Can we go back to
Yes.
So we were talking about how like sports and like connected to the music department. And I just want to say that I was really fortunate in that aspect because Sports Creek has such a great like theater program, and you were talking about how a band's a family, but it's not even just a band. It's like your theater club is like a family, your choir is a family. Like whenever you're in something musical, everything is like so connected, and it's definitely a family there too.
I feel like spending time like more in Swartz Creek, like because one of my good friends is from Swartz Creek, and now I'm seeing like there's a lot of people that I know. Like we were just talking today about a guy that went to school with him, and he's like, oh yeah, I know him. He was on such and such, and I know his band and all this. Well, he came from Swartz Creek, and I'm like, well, wow, Swartz Creek, produce out good people, like good artists, and I see it every day.
It's because of like the program in the high school is like so perfect. We have been in and out like theater like teachers, but other than that, like the program is really perfect, and you have the new like facility too, and that theater is just amazing. It like it's updated with everything, and it's really just amazing. I love the theater. I love the theater. That's where I'm like originally from. Like I've been singing all the time, but like I feel like my place for the past couple years has definitely been theater on the stage in the shows. If you haven't seen a Swartz Creek show, you guys need to go see a Swartz Creek show, especially a musical. They're doing Beauty and the Beast in the spring. You need to go see that one. Yeah, it's a joint
Your
production.
nephew's involved,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Who is your nephew?
Carter.
Carter who?
Dempsey.
I know a Carter.
Yep.
Is he younger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's junior.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to Travis, by the way. He's our cameraman and our producer. So.
Shout out to Travis. No, yeah, but that production that's coming up is between the middle school and the high school, so
Yep.
all of those kids that are involved in the theater program are going to be in that show.
That's awesome.
Speaking of the Burton beat, I think I'm the only Burtuckian here at the table.
Burton.
I lived in Burton for like 3 years.
I grew up in Burtucky.
I didn't grow up in Burtucky, but I lived in Burtucky.
I live in Swartz Creek now, but Burtucky. That's where
I'm originally from the pier.
So that's where you got your accent from.
No. My family's from Kentucky, and I lived in North Carolina for several years, and so it never dissolved.
Yeah, your mom's in the South.
That accent's gonna come soon because we got a guy that works from North Carolina and he keeps working around me. That accent, I'm gonna pick it up.
Right.
Sorry. But, yeah, I will. But anyway, yeah. No, I'm originally from the Pier, and but I've been in Kentucky for 3 years, and
Since I've known
now
you.
Flint. So it's basically Jackson County, though.
Yeah.
So.
And, I mean, I'm a Davisonian, so I'm not gonna say much, but hey, what are we doing Davison for? Come on now.
Nobody calls it that in Davison.
We're Davisonians. That's what that's what we're called.
Nobody calls it
Davisonians. The Lapieranites. I don't know. Lapieranites.
No, they call it Lapeer sucks.
Lapierans.
Oh, it's alright. We still like you. Somewhat.
Like a library.
State championship for what?
Football.
Football?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was in 1952.
Because Davison pretty much outbeats everybody. So
Davison's like sports are different, really good.
yeah.
But I recall in Davison that I blew people away on the track.
You run?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like
Not anymore.
Has anybody ever seen Mark do the splits on stage?
Yes.
I have, unfortunately, too many
You got the
times.
Flint block, right? Explains Jefferson County Flint. You got the Motors or Vehicle City sign. You got
Yeah.
Grand Funk Railroad. You got the viaduct with names on it. This should be a staple of Flint. Mark doing his stage splits. I'm telling you, man, it's like part of Flint.
Well, you should do it tonight. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll
You got a good
put
10-inch stage there.
I'll make sure that I'll put a little clip
We'll
on
edit
the
a little
Cody
clip
on
in.
YouTube.
You got Cody Dog's Grand Funk. You have Mark
There
doing his
is
splits.
pictures floating around on social media.
I don't want a corny dog after that.
Cody
I want
Dog.
to see it.
He has to reinforce his pants so they don't split.
Every time I've been out, you see this guy do this big disco
Don't
move,
take
man. He's like John Travolta. Wham! Mark's here.
Well, see, it's not duct tape on
In
the
his
outside;
boots.
it's duct tape from the inside. So, like, it's really uncomfortable for him to sit right now. But like, when he goes and does his dancing later, it'll all be worth it.
I don't know, those are skinny jeans. I don't
Skinny
know.
jeans?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're called skinny jeans, Mark, not make you skinny jeans.
Dang, oh.
No. But no, that's back to you guys. No, I don't think I really have anything else to ask them.
Do we have anything else to say?
Can I put a little plug in for a friend?
Yeah, put a plug in.
I'd like to put a plug in for my friend at Wasso Guitar, Bruce Winch and his wife Rachel Winch, for all your guitar needs. Very skilled in the trade. If you need anything to do with guitars, Wasso Guitar.
Well, that might be better than Gibson. Hey, maybe we get a sponsorship from him.
Got a Gibson man right here.
Yeah, we try to get Gibson.
Yeah,
They're not calling us back.
I'm hoping that every time I mention them, it'll pique their
Or they sue us.
Yeah,
Hashtag Gibson.
Yeah.
one or the other.
They sue us.
Quit talking about us, please.
Hey, listen, you're talking about us, but you're not giving us money.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
podcast I can't even play.
Yeah, we're out there to Wasso Guitar about every couple months because me and Barty are practicing. We run into each other and bust our guitars. How many times has that happened?
It's happened a few, but not for a long time.
I mean, we got
No.
knobs falling off. We bust them.
You also have fans where we practice too, so that's sometimes a problem.
The two guitars I have here today, those two Gibsons, I've never had any big incidences. But my first Gibson, that one's had so many and still like plays the best out of all of them. I don't know how. But like the worst one was he's got guitar hangers up at where we practice and they're on like the top of the wall, and I left my guitar plugged in. It's the last time I ever did it. And he went to run off the stage and his foot caught it and it pulled it right off the wall all the way down, face down onto the stage, and it didn't sound good either. It's
No, I've
like,
done that.
You ever had a guitar break from playing it too hard?
no, I've never done that.
We were in a metal
We were
band
breaking
back.
them, playing them.
We were in the metal band back in the day, and I had this Kerry King Slayer V. I was wailing it on so hard the neck fell off the guitar.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just snapped. I was like, oh.
Yep.
Yeah, it was bad.
To add on to Brett though, after that guitar fell on the stage, I took it up to Owasso Guitar. Rachel was working there, and I think they took it in and set it up for me, and I haven't touched it since. That had to be like 6 years ago, and this thing still plays great. I change strings on it, and once in a while I have to just adjust the bridge height a little bit when I change the strings, but it still plays great.
Have you guys seen a picture of Willie Nelson's guitar?
All right, I've always said,
That's
here
true.
is the cure for the national debt. All you gotta do is auction his guitar off. Everybody that's ever been on the Grand Ole Opry, sign that. You know, some gazillionaire somewhere's gonna buy that thing and just pay off the national debt with it.
Isn't it like 1940?
All I know is any artist that's played the Grand Ole Opry, he finds them and he has them sign that guitar. I don't know where he finds room. They're signed over top
I
of
think,
names now.
I think it's a 1940, but it's got like a hole
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah,
and
it's got the
everything.
whole
And
on
it-
where his pick goes.
It just sounds good. It's
It's his niche. That's his tone.
yeah, exactly.
It's
It's
a
his tone.
pawn shop tone, but it works. You know.
Everybody's got to have their own sound.
You know. Underestimated guitarist there too. He can wail when he wants to.
Yeah, he can.
Oh, yeah.
Willie's awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean that's cool. Yeah, shout out to Owasso Guitar if you guys need anything going on with that. I think we drove by it once and I was like, hey, there's guitars. So I mean,
Well, it's just the technical side of it. Bruce Lynch, he knows.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a guitar.
I had a problem that was hard to fix
savant
on my
when it
bass.
comes to the inner workings of it. I mean,
because not getting to any big box stores because I have a lot of friends
Right.
that work there, but every time you want to go get a hold of the guitar setup, you have to like wait like for 3 days and stuff like that because they don't work all the time.
and
So, well, I guess we can wrap this up. I mean, we've been talking to Fire Kreek, so let's just hear what they sound like, which is pretty awesome. So,
all right, get the banjos out.
Get the mic.
that's my resolution. That's my resolution this year is to learn banjo.
Bring your watch for it.
I will own a banjo.
All right, you guys heard it here first. Here's Fire Kreek.
Well,
There goes the first guitar.
Some of these so-called local media companies claim to sell you a website and a digital platform. But did you know that when your agreement ends, they own your website and your digital platform? Not with In-House Media. We build and design websites, logos, and radio and TV ads, trademarks, and more. And when we're done, you own all of it. We also provide web hosting, tech support, SEO services, and so much more. When we're done, the site is yours. The trademarks are yours. Don't get your head caught in a corporate cluster. Work with somebody locally right here in Genesee County. Online at InhouseMediaOfficial.com. In-House Media. We're in the business of building business.